Hi everybody, welcome back to the Quarter Acre Homestead. We are preparing for a 10-day backpacking trip with our whole family, and you probably already know we have some food restrictions, some pretty serious food allergies, and so we do a lot of our own backpacking food prep and dehydrating of the food. And so I thought we would just do a quick video today and kind of outline our planning process, some of the meals that we really like, and how we go about packaging them, dehydrating them, and maybe a little bit about how we cook them in the backcountry. Alright, so first, let me just say I haven't been able to post any YouTube videos for probably 3 or 4 weeks. We've just been super busy. We went around and we were washing the outside of our house because it was pretty dirty, and we realized it's probably time for a new paint job. So we took that paint job on, my wife and I, and that took more than a couple of weeks to paint the house. We ended up taking one door out and re-siding a section, so it was a big project. So sorry we haven't gotten any videos up lately, but we've enjoyed seeing some comments coming in on YouTube and some new Patreons, so we appreciate all your support. One thing I want to mention, Karen from Texas, she sent me some pictures. She downloaded our chicken coop plans on Patreon and built her own chicken coop. So I'll put a couple pictures in here. Good job, Karen. It looks super nice, maybe even better than ours does. So really good work, and it was really cool to get some feedback and see that someone did use the plans and that it worked out well. So let's go ahead and talk about backpacking food. So I grew up backpacking. My dad's taken me for a long time, and he did a lot of his own backpacking food prep. He did a lot of like dehydrating veggies, so like getting a package of frozen corn, frozen peas, and just putting it out on a dehydrator tray and drying those, and then making soups and stews in the backcountry, which works pretty well. I took that maybe a step further. I like to prepare a lot of the soups or stews or whatever chili, whatever we're going to have, prepare it at home and actually dehydrate that entire meal rather than individual like corn, peas, potatoes. So I've been doing preparing backpacking food like this for probably like, I don't know, close to 20 years now. But now I am married and I have kids, and we have one boy who has a lot of food allergies. So we had to get even more creative. This year it's easier because in the past he was allergic to dairy, nuts, basically all grains except rice and corn. And now, starting this year, he can eat oats, he can eat sunflower and pumpkin seeds, and he can eat dairy. So that opens up a lot of options for us. But we still have to avoid wheat, we still have to avoid soy and nuts and various other things. So one reason we do our own food prep is because of that. But another is, like, if you look at Mountain House foods and different freeze-dried foods like that, when you calculate for a 10-day backpacking trip, and we're going to have 8 people on this trip, when you calculate the cost for those freeze-dried meals, 3 per person for 8 people for 10 days, that's like 240 of those meals. And those meals are really expensive. So you can do the calculation. That's going to be a ton of money. So that's another reason we do it. And it's just healthier for you. So let me show you a little bit about how we plan for our trips. So I just go on Google Docs and I'll show you this document here. I just start typing up different ideas for food. So right here at the top, these first 3 lines, I kind of just outlined the different meals we're going to have. So just on one line for breakfast, we're going to have pancakes one day, we're going to have granola one day, we're going to have oatmeal one day, and cobbler one day. And then we're going to repeat those. So lots of those we're going to eat more than once. So it's nice to just have 4, because then we can mix up our pancake mix, for example, and have that ready for a couple days rather than having a different breakfast for every meal. It helps your prep go a little bit quicker. So we do a gluten-free pancake mix, and we really like using quart-sized Ziploc bags. So we'll just put our pancake mix in a quart Ziploc. When we're out in the wilderness, we'll add water, make our pancakes. Granola, we make our own homemade granola with honey, oil, oats. I'll try to link to a lot of these recipes in the description if you're interested. Oatmeal, simple, just quick oats and a little bit of salt, and then maybe take some honey sticks, raisins for the side. Cobbler, we actually got this cobbler recipe from a book called Lip Smackin' Backpackin'. I think that's where we got the idea for it first. I actually have a few recipes in the Lip Smackin' Backpackin', like the vegetarian version. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put a link in the description to Amazon. Those 2 books are really cool. They have lots of great ideas. But cobbler is one of our favorite meals for the backcountry, and it's super good and it's pretty nice. You make it in one pot. You can make it on the campfire, on a stove. Works super well. Okay, next line here. Our lunches are pretty simple because often we are hiking during the day, so we don't want to stop and have to cook or build a fire or get out our stove or anything like that. So for the meat, we're going to have homemade jerky and then some meat sticks that we buy. And then along with that meat, we'll have probably just one of these items. So with the meat, either a little snack bag of trail mix or a little snack bag of granola, or just a little fruit bar. The trail mix, we would put things in the trail mix like plantain chips, like chocolate chips, maybe sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, raisins, those types of things. For dinners, we are not repeating very many dinners. So we always do spaghetti first because the noodles are really heavy. Potato soup, we are actually doing a soup mix from the store this year, and we're adding our own dried potatoes to it. Black bean chili mac, we'll just mix up our own with homemade beans, rice noodles, tomatoes, peppers, olives, all that kind of good stuff. And we can taste it right here in our own pot at home, and then we put it out on our dehydrator sheets, which I have some here, and dry it. And by the way, this is pasta sauce. This we dehydrated. We got it out of a can, just poured it on our dehydrator sheet, dehydrate it. We will cut these up into little strips, put them in Ziplocs, and then we'll rehydrate it in a frying pan out on the trail. So that'll go with our spaghetti. Then we have mac and cheese. This year again, we're going to be using box mac and cheese. We found the gluten-free Annie's brand, so I'll link to that below. It's really good. It's going to be quick and easy, and it's nice we can use that because our kids can eat dairy now, so that's super nice. Chicken veggie soup, we will make ourselves with noodles. No actual chicken, but we do have chicken broth and various veggies from our garden and from the store, and we'll just basically cook that down until it's pretty thick, and then we'll lay it out on dehydrator trays and dry it. And basically the veggies and the noodles, they hold the chicken broth, and so then when you rehydrate it, you have your chicken broth with all those noodles and veggies in it. So pretty good, pretty simple. Polenta is another simple one. We'll just take, basically it's ground corn, and in the backcountry we'll just put put that in a pot of boiling water, stir it and boil it for a few minutes, and then let it cool, and it can harden and you can slice it up and stuff, or you can eat it like kind of like hot cereal, and we'll have we will have some kind of pasta sauce or tomato sauce with that. Spanish rice, actually I forgot to change this. We're going to change this to also chicken veggie soup, just so we have one less thing to prepare. And then we have another potato soup, which we talked about, and another mac and cheese. So those are our dinners. So for dinners, we try to make them so they're one pot. Sometimes we'll have one pot and one frying pan, like one pot for boiling spaghetti noodles, one frying pan for making the pasta sauce. But usually it's just boil some water, dump in a quart-sized plastic bag of dried soup mix or whatever, and cook it up in one pot. So that's really nice. So that's kind of my quick outline of our meals. And then I do go down through the days and outline what we're going to eat on what day. Sometimes I try to put the heavier meals first, like spaghetti and sauce. This is also helpful just to kind of rotate your meals, and if you're going to repeat a meal, keep them a few days apart so you don't get bored with the same flavors. Let's see. The other thing this is helpful for is if you're doing like a couple of loops, which we'll do sometimes, and you want to cache some of your food, this helps you identify what meals need to go in that cache that you can leave there to save you some weight for the other part of your trip. One other interesting thing about this trip, we're going where bare canisters are required, and those bare canisters, they are not rated to hold very much food. They weigh 2.5 pounds empty. That's just the plastic canister. These canisters, they have a plastic lid, and they have locks that you have to open or close with like a key or a coin, and the bears can't get in them. So it keeps your food super safe, but they weigh 2.5 pounds with no food in them, and they're supposed to only hold 3 to 5 days of food for one person. So again, if you calculate our 8 people times 10 days, well, I guess each person would need about, for at least 2 canisters each. So that would be 16 canisters. And that would add, what, like 48 pounds to our packs just with the canisters, not with the food, which is ridiculous. So we try to make our food super light, super small. We try to catch a lot of fish while we're out there to supplement our meals. And so we're going to try to fit into 4, maybe 5 bear canisters this year. So we might do a video and update you on that later. We'll see how we do. So that's our plan. Let me show you a little bit of what we're working on right now. I did show you the pasta sauce. I'll show you that again. And we do have our chicken soup mix that we're just about to put on dehydrator trays and put into the dehydrator. So I can show you that also. Alright, so again, this is our pasta sauce. And it's just like a piece of fruit leather that we'll cut up and put into bags. 2 of these trays came from one big can of pasta. In fact, I'll show you how big the can is, or the jar. It's this one. So 2 pounds of pasta sauce right there, and we have dehydrated that down to, I don't know, how much do you think that weighs? Like a 1/4 pound or something. So in this pot is our soup mix. This is our noodles and veggies in chicken broth, and let me take you out and show you in the dehydrator how we are dehydrating that. So here's our dehydrator. One interesting thing, when my wife and I were married, people gave us a refrigerator and a stove and stuff, and so our first appliance we purchased was this Excalibur Dehydrator. It is, I believe, 9 trays, and I'll put a link in the description It works super well. So again, here's our soup mix. We just spread it out pretty thinly. I mean, that's still like 3/4 to an inch thick on our tray. And then we have this set at about 135 degrees. And we'll probably end up dehydrating that overnight, maybe a little bit more. So I'll take you back inside. So back inside here, I will show you a couple other things. So here is the granola that we just made. It's mostly just oats, honey, and oil, and sunflower seeds, cinnamon, cloves, and ginger for spices. And over here is kind of a big mess. So here's the Annie's gluten-free macaroni that we'll use. And I know we have a bunch of boxes here, but let's see, these serve 2 each. So I don't know, we'll probably take them out of these boxes and put them in a quart Ziploc, and maybe we'll take 4 for one meal. We'll see. These are one of the granola bars we're gonna eat for lunches. Here are dried potatoes. So my dad makes these. He slices them, blanches them in boiling water, and then dehydrates them on trays. We will do these little snacks probably along with our lunches. This is powdered milk because one of our kids who has food allergies, they did OIT, or oral immunotherapy, for milk. Basically, you start with a small amount of milk where you don't react, like super diluted milk, and then build up. And right now he is on a maintenance dose, which means he needs to drink a cup of milk every day so his body doesn't forget that it's desensitized to milk. So that's what we have going on right now. We'll probably do another video explaining more about our blackberry cobbler. So that's what we have going right now. We'll probably do another video explaining how we do our blackberry cobbler. And please comment below if you're interested in how we do any of the other meals. We could do a quick video and show you more about that. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.